This video was shot in front of a live studio audience at twitch.tv/verysmalllive.
But yeah, no, I did kind of just haven't recorded this build yet, and I guess you guys can get a decent explanation if I can explanation good. Build focus is around Temporal Anchor and her turret. Really simple. We're using Roar as a flat damage buff, just across the board for her abilities. Dispensary for, obviously, energy regen. Really important. I kind of had to get rid of spinny orbs, because dispensary was just super important, because enemies tend not to drop energy, and when they do drop energy, I'm in Temporal Anchor, so, yeah. But yeah, no. Starting off with the muds, growing power, really easy to keep up, don't have to think about it, it's just a flat ability strength buff. Prime show footed so you don't get knocked on your ass. Equilibrium, also known as EQ in my book, just for more energy sustain. Archon Vitality. Now, with Archon Vitality, we're only focusing on the heat damage that will apply twice, so you can have this at R0. We don't care about the health part. Umbral Intensify for the ability strength. So, Precision Intensify won't work because it empowers the 4 and only the 4. And Normal Intensify is way too low, so chalk that up. We use Umbral Intensify. And no, you cannot use Archon Intensify, because we are not restoring health by any means. So, Umbral Intensify will be your pick here. Prime Continuity for more duration, because we want as much duration with Temporal Anchor so we can stay in it, and build Temporal Anchor up into the millions of detonation damage. Blind Rage, more ability strength. Temporal Artillery, so we can take our turret on the go. Now, unfortunately, you can only take one turret, so just remember that. Prime Redirect, so survivability. You can just tank your shields a little bit, but this is not the only survivability we are using. This is just a oh shit moment, so they'll just have to go through a lot of shield. And Temporal Erosion, or either grenade fans or your turret will strip 10% of armor from the enemies, which is really good. Arcane wise, we are using Concentrate because we're going to be spamming abilities, so this is just going to be a permanent ability duration buff, so yay. I know it only lasts for 3 seconds, but with Protea, since you're spamming abilities, so it'll just stay up. Yeah. And because I wanted more ability strength, Molt Augmented. Kill, stack up buff. This is a permanent buff on kill, and it goes up to 250. Now, there is another part to this build, and that's with the Epitaph. The reason why I'm using the Epitaph is for a secondary fortifier, where we gain 1 Overguard every 100 damage we deal to an Eximus unit. I'm going to specify Eximus unit here. Reason for that is it only works on them because they have Overguard. So you're basically stealing that for yourself, but without it disappearing within like 10 seconds, unlike Circumvent. Circumvent, yes, would be ideal, but then you have to like drop out either a duration, like, what was it? Concentrate and Molt Augmented. You have to figure out which one you want to drop. But that only lasts like 10 seconds, and ideally isn't realistic because you're basically immune within Temporal Anchor, and nothing can kind of not kill you. Yeah, that makes sense. Not kill you? No. You're basically immune within Temporal Anchor, so nothing can kill you, basically. Unless it's Stalker, because for some fucking reason, Stalker says no. Yeah. So yeah, we're using that to generate Overguard, which is pretty easy to do. And now, some of you will say, but if Temporal Anchor rewinds back after the duration's done, you'll just lose it. Incorrect. You actually keep it. It's just the energy that leaves you. So whatever energy you collect within Temporal Anchor will go back to your original. but not the Overguard, which is very handy. And I guess another thing would be melee Korean on the glaive. Rolling just freezes enemies within a 5.5 meter radius, and you can do this again within 2 seconds. Reason I have this is mainly for a shit moment, or if you really feel like rolling when you're in Temporal Anchor. It makes enemies more susceptible to crit damage, or just any source of damage. So yeah. Also, I forgot one thing. Within the epitaph, I forgot one whole thing. With our survivability being on the epitaph, we kind of double dipping in damage and transferring the damage and heat to the turret, even though the turret already does heat. So what I mean by that is, basically, we want the epitaph to apply heat and then apply the damage bonus to the enemy, while also generating Overguard, but all the damage is going to our turrets from the epitaph. It's a really hard thing to, picture, but you can easily do this without thinking about it. So that's why the epitaph only has heat, and with a faction damage mod, which is kind of important depending on the faction you are fighting. Now, your weapons of choice, your primary and melee don't really matter. On the melee, you just need to have melee Korean and a a primary that just kills anything. I am really stuttering and fucking up my English today. Gotta love being sick. Helminth abilities, I would only recommend Roar here, or Eclipse. Roar and Eclipse. Reason why not Nourish, because a Nourish applies viral, and we do not want viral status, because it'll just fuck up the whole build. So Roar for just a flat, and Eclipse, you can change between being tanky and having damage. And your Helminth over your one slot, not your free, because you need dispensary more than you need grenade fans. Shards, pretty simple. I went with 2 duration shards. I did tell them, because I did want as much duration as possible on Protea. And then 2 energy shards. I did also tell this, because this is kind of necessary, mainly because we didn't mod for a flow mod, because it was just not needed, because we needed to use 2 augment mods on Protea, because those are very handy, especially to make a steel path build. And I also went with 1 cast speed, also tailed it, because less standing around is really great, and since we're spamming abilities, Protea benefits from it. Build's pretty simple. Basically, apply a roll, throw down 1 turret, go into Temporal Anchor, and blast things with your epitaph, and let your turret just accompany you.
Life support has been cut off.
Auto life support. So we apply a roll, throw down a turret, I'll redo dispensary, and go into Temporal Anchor. Now, this build, if in a good room, can easily hit up the 20 to 30 mil within Temporal Anchor. It just depends on the room. And everything, near Temporal Anchor will just die. It's a pretty steel path viable build. It's pretty fun, too. And you're practically immortal within it, because if you die within Temporal Anchor, you'll just go back to where you are, and whatever damage was applied to you will just be taken back. That's why I only went with more shields, and that's really about it.
Life support
So you can kind of see why I get rid of grenade fan for this build, but keep dispensary. Now I haven't been getting Overguard because there's no Eximus around at the moment. But it doesn't really matter so far. And then every once in a while, you just like have to wait a bit.
I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it will buy you more time.
Which isn't a huge deal, but it is kind of annoying. It can be stopped by the Archon Shards if you do put them on for health pickup. But it's up to you. There's a lot of enemies down below. Hi.
Get ready for a capsule.
I didn't even realize I had Overgod. I just had the Overgod break. But no, this is the build. Pretty fun, pretty easy. And honestly pretty potent. Yeah, that's 20 mil within Temporal Anchor right now. 22. I'm not lying when I say you can hit up to 30 mils, depending on the room and how
I've
aggressive you
delivered
are.
another life support capsule.
And it's not like I'm not killing the enemies either. So, because the turret's already scaled up to its max, and we're also supplying it with more like damage potential from the heat inherit / damage transfer from the epitaph to the turret. And that's not including Protea's passive at all, or like the flat damage buff from Roar. So, I am pretty happy with this build personally. Like, we can generate a shit ton of Overgod to where we don't need to worry about our shields at all. Like, 2200, 2200. Overgod just kind of chilling. Pretty good. Oh, the boop down. And we'll go through here. Now, yes, this can kill an acolyte. And even if it's against violence, you can still kill violence. The reason why is you're untouchable within Temporal Anchor. You are immune to nullifiers, violence, and anything that shuts down abilities. For example, there is violence, and you can't touch me. That is the Protea Temporal Anchor build. I probably didn't explain it too good, so I probably have to redo it, but there you go!